So there has been a huge protest in Burkina Faso, and the main reason for protesting is because people, of course, the Burkinabés, the citizens, they are protecting Traoré and they are against the enemies of the state. So you can imagine you are president and people are protecting you to this extent. So that is how much Traoré is loved by the Burkinabés. So there have been protests in the cities within Burkina Faso, and the main reason basically is they are protecting Traoré against the enemies of the state. So let's have a look at this video on what people are saying in relation to the protest and what we can learn, we as Africans, either if you are African in Africa or Africa in diaspora, so what you can learn from this protest. So let's have a look at this, then you can come and analyze the video.
Of the province have shown their support for the ongoing actions under the leadership of the Progressive Popular Revolution. Report by Armel Savadougou.
COSEN says no to the destabilization of institutions. Yes to the Progressive Popular Revolution, RPP, and supports President Ibrahim Traoré and his government. These are just some of the slogans chanted by the marchers. Starting from the Selpak Plateau in Nuna, these marchers walk along Daniel Muezzin Folbani Avenue to the High Commissioner's office, where they deliver a message of support to the authorities.
Captain Ibrahim Traoré embodies a necessary break for our country. He has restored meaning to our sovereignty and dignity.
Anyone who is against the power of ideas, we are against them too. So we support them 100%.
In the face of distractions from imperialists and local lackeys, the Provincial Coordination of Citizen Vigilance Associations of COSIN calls for continued mobilization and sacred unity.
Supporting President Traoré means choosing unity over division. It also means choosing action over inertia. We therefore call on all sons and daughters of the country to remain united behind this vision, so that tomorrow we can pass on to our children a Burkina Faso that is free, dignified, and prosperous.
There are many development projects, and the High Commissioner of COSIN calls on his people to remain mobilized behind the vision of President Captain Ibrahim Traoré for a better Burkina.
Imagine this. You are a sitting president, and you are loved so much by your citizen, to the extent they are protecting you from any person who tries to interfere with how you operate within the government of the country. I cannot imagine of any African president who is currently sitting as an African president and can be protected as much as Traoré is being protected by the Burkinabés. Do you know any? For me, honestly, I don't know any, because Traoré is setting a good example for African politics, honestly speaking. So we as Africans should come out and protect him in all ways possible. We should chant, we should speak about it the way I'm speaking about it, so that people should see that this is what we Africans want. We want development, and Traoré is spearheading development. And I know for a fact, during my generation, I've seen just two African presidents who can be protected, or who are protected by the citizens of their countries. So the first one was the former president of Tanzania, that is President John Pombe Magufuli. So the guy was very much in love with the country. The guy was loved by citizens, and the citizens were willing to even protect him to any extent as far as his security is concerned. Then we have Traoré, who is now a very young and energetic leader and setting pace for African development, and you can see how he's being protected by others, or by the Burkinabés. So amazing about that. So that being said, this is just an example to all African leaders, or all Africans of goodwill who wants to take this continent to another level. So they have to show us the good things, or the good sides of them. They have to invest in Africa. They have to stop corruption. You see, when I speak about corruption, corruption exists everywhere in the world. Believe me, each and every country is corrupt in one way or another. The only difference is in other countries, corruption is an exception rather than the rule. In Africa, corruption is the rule rather than the exception. So that's why you are seeing we as Africans, we are against corruption and we are against the African leaders who are practicing corruption. We have leaders who've been in this arena for a very long time and they are not even showing improvements in their countries. So that's why we are praising Traoré. We are with him in each and everything that he is doing. We are standing with Traoré and we must stand with Traoré, and we have to take this continent to another level, we as Africans. Africans in Africa and Africans in the diaspora, all of them, all of us must come together and support Traoré in each and every initiative that he's doing in the Burkina Faso. And you remember, like 1 week ago, Traoré is saying that currently Burkina Faso is still living in the 18th century, and it is his wish that he wants to take this country to another level. Like in the next 5 years, at least he will catapult Burkina Faso to at least live in the 1950s. What does that even show you? It shows you that past regimes, past governments, they are totally doing nothing. Totally doing nothing. It's like Traoré is starting from scratch. And that's why he's asking for our support. And some of us who cannot support financially, we are speaking and talking about it, praising the good things that he's doing in Burkina Faso. And that is the spirit of Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism is the spirit of where we as the young Africans should embrace Africa and talk about Africa and sell Africa to the world. We talk about the good things that are happening in Africa. Burkina Faso is leading. The Sahel region, at least they're moving towards the right direction. We are not that much into development as Africa, but at least we are heading in the right direction. Some of the countries are showing the world that indeed African can be great. In support of what President Traoré is doing, a good number of Africans, both in Africans in diaspora, they've come up with an initiative to support the so-called Faso-Mebo. For those who don't know what Faso-Mebo is, this one is basically, it is just, it's an initiative, a presidential initiative, whereby all Africans of goodwill, both in Burkina Faso and both in abroad, they can contribute to the so-called national coffers. Now, why is this one even important? The main importance of this is because President Traoré is trying to rebuild Burkina Faso as a country, and is rebuilding using money contributed by fellow Africans, money contributed by Burkinabés. So even though maybe when it comes to loaning, so some of the money can be loaned, but not that much. So it just shows that he wants fully dependence on African resource. So building Burkina Faso from scratch, using Burkinabé's money, using money contributed by Africans. So a good number of Africans or Burkinabés who are in Nigeria, Ghana, some of them have contributed to this initiative, and they have indeed given out their contribution to the government of Burkina Faso. So let's have a look at how much they contributed in relation to what the government of Burkina Faso is expecting. I think it's a maximum of 4 million CFA franc, if I'm not wrong, from diaspora, that is from Ghana, without even adding the amount of money that the Burkinabés in the US have contributed. So let's have a look at this video.
Burkinabè living outside the motherland, members of the diaspora are showing their support to help implement the presidential initiative in front of fellow Burkinabè. Those living in Ghana and the United States have thus contributed to the initiative and also to the Patriotic Support Fund. This was on January 27th. Report by Saiba Sori.
More than 3,945,000 CFA francs for the Patriotic Support Fund and 500,000 CFA francs for the FASO member agency. Contribution from Burkinabè living in Kumasi, Ghana. The Burkinabè diaspora in the United States is also playing its part. They are offering an amount of more than 38,200,000 CFA francs for the FASO member agency.
We say thank you to the highest authorities of our country, namely, in this case, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, for his vision and leadership. It should also be noted that this was made possible through the initiative and leadership of the delegates to the High Council of Burkinabè abroad and the presidents of associations, that this fundraising was able to take place. If the country calls us, we must answer. He is a patriotic leader, a comrade who sacrificed his youth for the reconstruction and the recovery of the territory. Who are we not to support him? Not to stand by him or support him. So, on this occasion, we wanted to come and contribute in our own way.
Donations that demonstrate the determination of Burkinabè abroad in supporting the actions of the country's highest authorities.
Thank you for watching that video. Remember, Africa must be great. Africa will be great. It will be great from the Maghreb. It will be great from the northern part of Africa. It will be great from east, west, and south. At the end of the day, we as Africans must build our home. So that's what we are doing at the moment. So if it's your first time here, kindly show me some love, like the video, share it with a friend, and at the end of the day, we have to make Africa a great continent. We have to make Africa a great continent. Why? Because when Africa is great, you and me will be respected outside Africa. You and me will be respected outside Africa. So imagine traveling outside Africa and Africa is great. Man, even when we go to the UN National Assembly, African leaders are always not respected. Why? Because their countries are still poor, and it's our generation, and it's your duty, it's my duty and your duty to make Africa great. Thank you for showing up. See you next time.